Welcome everybody to the Chronicles Review for the film 65, starring Adam Driver. And it is your boy Cosmic Boss, one third of the Less Than Stealthy Ninjas, with another third of the Less Than Stealthy Ninjas. Miss Irania missed in the fucking car.
What up?
today.
What up? What up?
And so we are back with another Chronicles review for you. So we went and saw the movie 65. Not a lot of hype around this movie. It won't be one of the biggest movies of this year.
What did your initial thoughts though? Because Scoot always asks us that.
Right, he does. Being the band director that he is, one band, one sound.
Yes, I will be a disembodied voice. Yes.
So, Scoot, basically my initial thoughts were I wanted to see the movie because it has dinosaurs. I love dinosaurs. There's a Jurassic Park void in our life right at the moment. So that's what I wanted to see. Plus, I love a good sci-fi adventure. That's it. Now, my initial thoughts, I liked it. It was fun. It's not the deepest movie. It's not the worst movie I've seen this year, but it's pretty fun. It's enjoyable.
My initial thoughts were, first of all, I didn't think the story was what it was. I thought it was somebody from Earth was scouring the globe, well, the universes, and fell upon the dinosaur planet.
Right.
And so, this will contain some spoilers because it's probably like a lot of people probably wouldn't see it. Shout out to you. You know who you are when I say this. One of my good friends said, "Oh, I call that the Jurassic Planet movie."
That is a Sci-Fi Channel original movie. Do not listen to us, please. We don't want no problems with your copyright. I'm sure I've seen that on a straight to video link somewhere.
You already know
that's on Voodoo in the free section. Okay.
But I thought that it was when he said that I was like, I don't know if I thought that, but I thought that the little girl was already on the planet.
I can see that.
I thought the little girl was already on the planet because, people travel and we are maybe not the only humanoids, but as a former desire to be a paleontologist person and a lover of space, always have loved space and science, I was like, I don't care if it's hand puppets. I'm in. I'm trying to see it. And no, it is not the deepest. It doesn't go super duper deep. But the concept of the movie is what really got me when I actually realized what it was about.
Right.
I was like, yes, I enjoy it. And I turned to him and I was like, I like this concept. It pleases me.
For shits and giggles, there is a series of kids movies called Jurassic Planet that started in 2021. There you
go. Jurassic Planet.
And like we said, we're going to get into spoilers. To put this movie in perspective, it's a little bit of what's that? Robinson Crusoe. So stranded on a strange planet. Little bit of just Fantastic Journey. Not Fantastic Journey. That's where they go inside the body. So a little bit of Robinson Crusoe, a little bit of Jurassic Park, but a little bit of Planet of the Apes. And I say that because the twist in this movie is told to you point blank in subtitles in the title at the beginning.
Yeah, you go.
Wait, what? But
it actually kind of just a little bit goes according to that theory. It's the physicist theory that the way that life spreads from planet to planet is by meteors.
Yes.
And so therefore whatever's on the meteor, whatever gets on that planet and creates a certain type of life. So it kind of loosely goes according to that too.
Right.
Because humans exist. They just don't exist.
And it's also that part where the Big Bang, everything so long ago is still outwardly spreading. And so time with Einstein is relative. So like you saw it Interstellar, you can go on one planet for 7 minutes, go back outside the planet, and it's been 7 years.
Yeah.
So, it's like at this point, well, the twist is the people you see in this movie are from Earth.
They're not from Earth. They're not from Earth.
That's correct. They say that. They're not from Earth.
But they're human.
But they're human.
And clearly they have Earth sickness.
Right. They have an Earth sickness. So it's like they have lived like before the advent of mankind, it said. Here on Earth, these people
had a type 2 civilization.
Crash landed here.
On Earth 65 million years ago, right, when there were dinosaurs here.
When there were dinosaurs here. And
left their DNA about.
And that's it tells you that right at the beginning.
But here's what fucked me up, y'all. And I said this to him in the theater, and I'm gonna say it to our loyal viewers. What fucked me up is, how is it that you crash on this planet, right, on accident, and you like, damn, I'm on this planet, all these weird animals are here, what's this in the sky? I said, what's that? And he's like, he does his little digital thing. That's the meteor that wiped out the damn dinosaurs. Your timing, sir, you're not gonna make it back home.
Your timing is so unfortunate. Like, let's start in the beginning. He takes it like it starts with him, his wife, and his daughter on the beach. They're talking about him going on this 2-year trip. They tripled his salary just for this 2-year
He's
trip.
Basically an intergalactic Uber driver.
He is. He's a starship pilot. That's it. Yeah. On this ship, which is quite a medium-sized star cruiser, it is him, the only pilot, no co-pilot.
No.
And
pretty much can co-pilot itself.
Right.
Type 2 civilization.
And there's 11 to 13 people that are in suspended animation. He is asleep. The ship's on autopilot. It's a pre-navigated course. It runs into an asteroid field.
Kind of like that one movie with Chris Pratt. Remember how like one person stays woke and it was like a big cruise ship full of people.
Oh, I know the one you're talking
about.
With
Lucian.
I know the one you're talking about.
Like everybody sleep except one person that kind of do the maintenance.
He woke up that woman against her will, Jennifer Lawrence against her will.
So that's his woman now. This is how it is.
Somebody, look, little side note, somebody on Twitter said that movie would have been a lot better if it was, instead of trying to be this romantic space movie, if it was a horror movie where Jennifer Lawrence is the main character and she slowly realizes he woke her up to be with her.
Yeah.
It would have been a lot better.
Because it was creepy and scary anyway. But anyway, that's the same vein. The one person stays up, everybody else sleep and cryo sleep, and boss's worst nightmare.
Right. Like he goes to take a nap or just get some sleep because he's the only one that has to stay awake. And they go through an asteroid field. Let me tell you something.
An asteroid field near here.
Near here. So this is probably what? Not Jupiter's or Saturn's? Which one?
That's what I was wondering. I don't know. Maybe Saturn's.
One of them has a large asteroid.
They didn't say which direction it was coming from.
Right, they did.
So
they go through an asteroid field. The ship is like, hey, wait a minute. Wake your ass up.
And it's an uncharted asteroid.
It's an uncharted. So they didn't know this was here.
I wonder where they were going.
Probably to Earth, maybe.
No. Because remember,
they said it was off course. So wherever they were going was somewhere else. But anyway, it starts pelting the ship with these small asteroids. Like the first one that came on screen, we thought was huge.
Yeah.
And it just was very small. I hate tiny meteors. I hate them. If you've seen at minimum 20 sci-fi movies, you've seen space people get killed by tiny meteors.
It's true.
They're so small.
And it'll pierce your sleeping chamber all the time.
Droplets of blood that they go so fast.
It's like bullets.
They just go through whatever they're traveling through, and you're just. It's not.
And your space is sleep.
No. I can name the movies that happened there. Pandorum. Was it the sequel to Prometheus, Alien Covenant? It happened to what was Seth Rogen's best friend.
I don't have names.
His brother. Anyway.
And that one movie where the dude was by himself now, and he was starting to lose his mind. What do you think?
Not Danny McBride, the other one. Spider-Man's friend from the Sam Raimi movies.
Oh, Franco.
James Franco. It happened to James Franco's character. Uh,
That one movie I was just talking about, it was a few people in cryo sleep. And oh, he was late.
yeah,
It happened. The one man woke up, everybody else got pelted. He couldn't go in that part of the ship no more, and he slowly started to lose his mind because he was by himself. He was working out and stuff.
yep.
Whatever movie that is, I can't remember, but it's only just him in the movie, and he is sad.
Look, tiny meteors are a problem.
They
And
are.
the government need to do something about them now. But also, that starts happening to the ship. It's not so much tiny meteors, but they're the size of baseballs, basketballs, cars, and so on.
Dang.
And
It's an
then
asteroid belt.
he gets up there, and the bigger ones come, and it blows out one engine, it takes apart one wing. He crash lands on the planet Earth. It splits the ship in half,
In the weekend.
and as it's crashing, it breaks in half, and all the people in cryosleep
Just
get sucked out
like
into the air.
just
And it's just like, fuck no.
that was really bad.
Like, man,
That could have been in Texas. Because we have a lot of terrain here.
we
The
do.
mountains, and it was the swamps.
Right. Well, you're right, because where the meteor hit, where
The
did
Gulf
that?
of Mexico area, I thought.
Where did that meteor hit?
I thought it was the Gulf of Mexico area.
Because it's still there today.
Scoot, we need you to look up a fact.
Where was that meteor that hit Earth 65 million years ago? Where did it land?
All right, give me a moment.
But anyway, all right,
Okay.
yeah. So that ship split apart. He lands. He survives. He gets a little shrapnel in his side.
Earth sickness.
Right, and he walks out and doesn't get attacked, even though we see the fucking Deinonychus just swimming in the water,
Swimming like
not bothering him. Knowing if it had been us on this Ark movie,
snatched off.
it just been
Immediately.
snatched off. Just
If you haven't seen our Arc series on the channel, go watch it.
Hey,
You'll
Ninja.
laugh a lot.
Just anytime the crocodiles come in Ark, we have issues.
What
Hey,
did you say?
Ninja.
What do you say?
The Yucatan Peninsula
Yes.
in Mexico.
Okay. I was
Oh,
close.
you were very close. So, yeah. So it starts with him, and he's just getting his bearings, and
He realizes he can breathe.
he realizes he can breathe, but he is going through it. At this point, he tries to cancel his subscription to Life magazine.
Yeah, there you go. I like that.
So
Yeah, because he's just like, I don't know where I am.
right,
All the people are not with us anymore.
he says everybody's dead. Like he has internet connection to send a distress signal, and he records it,
Level 2 civilization.
and then he deletes it before he sends it, and then he records it, says there are no survivors, do not come,
That's
and
it,
sends
10G.
that one.
10G.
And it's just like, sir, I'd be old and emaciated in bones. Come get me.
Save me.
But anyway, so he almost unsubscribes from Life magazine, and he gets a beep in his ship.
Yeah.
One of the pods is going off.
Because there's life in it.
Right, because there's life in it.
Life dark.
Right, they're all red and blinking.
Yeah, they're in the swamp, and he's like, gas.
Right.
Someone live.
So he goes on a little journey, finds it in the rain.
It ain't no little journey. I don't know what's going on.
The first journey was kind of small to get to her.
First of all, okay, that what we did not discuss, the movie did not discuss the differences in the gravity. Because I refuse to believe that the gravity was the same. Because remember, he kept coughing at first with the O2 and the oxygen.
Mm-hmm.
And to be fair, if we're talking about back in those times, in that era,
oh, it was hot.
It was hot, and then the oxygen was different than it would have been on a planet that was populated with a whole bunch of people.
It was pure, but it was probably had I want to say a lower density.
Right, and it would. That's what made things big. Remember,
right? That was right. That was right. So like it had a lower density, so it grew bigger.
It would have been harder for him to get even that further. I mean, even though it was close,
right?
It still would have been.
It would took him a long time to acclimate.
Yeah, and he was wet.
Right. But yeah, it took him a little bit to get to that pod. Realize the girl is alive inside, but the pod starts to fail, so he breaks it open, starts to carry her back.
All this carrying of children. These are men.
Right. And this is when he, in the rain, on the way back to the crashed ship, stumbles upon a footprint of a giant predator. At this point, he pauses, looks around, and that's when the title screen kicks in.
Casually looks around.
Right, because he is perturbed.
And again, we don't know what kind of animals they have on said planet. However, we are to assume that they don't have giant lizard predators.
Right. And so he gets her back to the ship. She wakes up. He follows him outside.
She from the north side, so she does not speak his English.
Right. Basically, what he speaks, he can't understand her. She can't understand him.
Right.
She is a child. She's the only survivor. Yada, yada, yada. He goes out. He doesn't know she's quite awake yet. And she's in this hooded cloak like Newt from Aliens. And we called her Space Newt.
Yep.
so
she's a little surviving something.
She is. And he goes out, he spots her, and that's when they get noticed that something is out here. And it is bad. So they find the other half of the ship.
Yes.
He triangulates the point. It's 15 kilometers away.
Hold on. We need to discuss how he went up in that tree and fell like the man from Sons of the Forest at the fucking tree.
We gonna get
That's how he discovered it, though. Remember, he had to get up there high enough for the signal so that because he saw something because it wasn't finding it on its own. Remember, he saw it and he was like, "Oh," because he kept saying they couldn't find the other part. So that's why he climbed up the tree and did the little whatever. And when the bug crawled on his head. Yeah. There were big bugs.
Remember, he pinpointed it first because that was almost like a quarter through the journey.
No. Remember, he kept putting it into the machine and it kept saying that it couldn't find it. And when he went through all of that shit, he looked up and he saw it on the mountain and he did like this. And then he was like, wait, and he started trying to use the thing to get the coordinates and stuff for it because it wasn't locating, it wasn't picking it up when he was doing it in the ship.
Right. But anyway.
And then he climbed a tree.
On the journey, there were these space chiggers.
It looked like an earwig hornet.
It was about this big, that wide, and its abdomen thorax opened up and had wings, and it had teeth on its butt, and it had mandible pincers, and it was a juicy son of a bitchin' bug. Yep. Like that.
Yep. He smashed it on his neck, and it looked like Nickelodeon Gak.
Also, it was paste because remember, it got stuck to his hand and he tried to wipe it off on the tree and it pulled the bark off the tree and it stuck to his hand.
Disgusting.
But anyway, we can talk about the dinosaurs we saw.
Yes.
If you've seen the trailer, you've seen the T-Rex.
Yes.
T-Rex is going to be in every dinosaur movie, no matter what it is.
That one that they see in the trailer that was in the behind them, that wasn't that T-Rex. Remember, that was whatever.
Because the first dinosaurs we saw a Velociraptor.
We saw Compies.
We saw Compies first. Then we saw Velociraptors, their actual size, which was about 1.5 feet, 3 feet. And then we saw Troodons when they started their journey and they went to pull out that baby dinosaur out the tar pit. Well, he was like, "Hey, get your ass back here." They helped it out. It started to walk off. The Troodons was like free lunch.
They were like, "It's already sticky. It's ready and seasoned."
Right. So they hopped on it, ate that. She started to throw a fit. And
because she's a child.
Right. And
he trying to survive.
So the next thing we saw some lizard-looking dinosaurs that were bipedal.
Kind of. Their front legs were longer than the back legs.
Their front, like, they moved like the Indoraptor from Jurassic World. Yeah. But they also moved like iguana lizards.
And they kind of reminded you of the what's the one that I always like to tame on Ark? And it's nice.
Moss chops?
Yeah, it kind of gave you a little moss choppiness in the neck and face.
But like anybody who's familiar with superhero movies or comics, they reminded me a lot of the Lizard's minions from Spider-Man comics and shows. If you see them, you know what I'm talking about. But there were a lot of them, and they were angry.
And snapped?
He had fell out the tree and dislocated his shoulder, and he is grumping and screaming. And these things are coming, and she's like, because she can't speak clearly. And so
She doesn't speak English. It's not that she can't speak clearly. Jesus.
she speaks like Dominic Toretto from Fast and Furious. She knows two words: shit and family.
She does know shit.
We would
and
not be
family.
disrespecting Vin Diesel like this, okay?
She knows two words. That's all his vocabulary. But anyway, so he busts his shoulder back into place. He tells her to run, and he just goes to war with these little things. They get chased in. They find a waterfall. They camp up for the night. Not a T-Rex. Something
Whatever that was.
looked like a Godzilla villain, like Anguirus, and it tries to eat him in this small little cave. They rush down a hole in the bag, but he shoots out one of its eyes.
It seemed a little smaller than a T-Rex.
It did. It did seem smaller than a Rex, and they get trapped in this cave with this ugly looking dinosaur.
Yeah, I don't know what dinosaur that was either.
But it was the only one in there. He puts her through a hole to get out because there's air coming through it. The cave collapses in between them. So he's stuck in there with the dinosaur. He has a fight with it. He kills it. But
he has some type of USB charged gun.
Right.
I don't know what it's shooting because we're not that kind of civilization. So we don't understand that power.
Air lasers or something.
Right. It is kind of like one of them air pistol guns.
Right.
But it electrocutes kind of.
So, but let me tell you something. That gun was fucking these dinosaurs up.
It was.
But
it had a lot of shots to it.
It did.
Like, you can't plug that USB back up?
Nope.
Where you get them cartridges from?
And so they make it out the cave.
Separately,
two separate areas. He gets stuck in quicksand.
Well, I guess it wasn't
ancient quicksand.
Yeah.
C3 uses up all their bombs on one 3-foot dinosaur after trapping it in a log. She's not the
raptor, wasn't it?
It was a velociraptor. She's not the brightest bulb.
Well, she's scared, and she's a little kid,
scared,
and it's a bunch of dinosaurs that she's never seen before.
Right.
Her parents are what we know to be unalive.
They are cooked.
Was he one of the burnt people?
They were brisket. So it's slow smoked over 24 hours. But anyway, so like they reunite. They make their way to the second half of the ship.
Up the mountain.
And realize everybody's gone. Well, he knew that.
Remember, he had told her too that the asteroid was coming.
Right.
Because he scanned it and it said that the impact was imminent
in 12 hours.
Yeah, and it was going to have devastation.
Right.
So he was like, we got to get to this ship quick.
Right. And so they get there, find out there's a life pod there, still intact. They get in it, and as they're about to take off, the meteors start raining down.
The little broken pieces.
And it just starts, it shakes the ship to where they fall off a cliff. And where they land happens to be in the T-Rex kingdom of Monsteropolis.
And I turned to him and I said, I don't think those two T-Rexes would have been that close in hunting grounds together.
Right.
That seemed a little odd.
They showed up there and like,
let's see which one gets him.
Right. And like him and that gun fucked them up. And then old One Eye comes back from the waterfall after he killed the other two T-Rexes. And he lures it.
The pirate dinosaur.
He lures it to the hot spring geyser that is spewing this hot ass water. Like, I
feel like it was slightly acidic.
It had to be.
Because his face was gone.
Right. So he lured it back there. It got stuck there after he shot it. So after old girl came in and stabbed him with a bone
in the other eye
that had some berries in it, so he was infected and blind. And he went over the geyser and it melted his face off. So
I'm like, we don't need no more of those guys.
Right?
What's that?
Plug them up. But anyway, with sand.
That's scary.
But anyway, They get on.
That was a Sulphur Springs.
Had to be, but they get on the. They get back on the life pod. They've already gotten word that rescue is coming to a certain coordinates. They blast off just as the meteor is about to hit. Like I mean, within seconds of the meteor hitting, meteor hits, wipes out everything on the planet. They're taking off.
Everything.
Well, majority of life at that point. They make their way off planet. They both survive.
We think. We don't know. They didn't say like.
They didn't say for sure.
They made it home and now they're gonna adopt this little girl.
Right, but. Yeah, that's where the movie ends. There's no after credit scene, no post credit scene.
Except the little part where they show the Earth where the meteor hit, and then the like aftermath, and then it kind of does like a time cycle to current day where you see like a city and you see the grass and everything. I thought that was kind of cool.
And so, but yeah, that is the movie 65. Yeah. Like it's a fun little adventure movie with dinosaurs.
It is.
I have a question, Ninjas. Considering the movie and considering what's in the context of the movie, would it have been better rated R?
No. There wasn't really that kind of death in it.
You're right. There was not a high body count in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, because the dinosaurs ate other dinosaurs.
Yeah, the dinosaurs ate other creatures, and you didn't.
We actually were laughing at the end because we looked at the credits and there was like 4 people.
There's 4 total people in this movie.
Yeah, so
4 total.
And that is his wife,
his
daughter, and the little girl.
There's nobody else in this movie. Nobody else speaks. You see nobody else move in this movie. So it's just them 4.
Technically, giving it an R rating wouldn't have done anything because there was no need. There wasn't even enough humans for carnage.
Right. There in this movie, the total number of humans died by dinosaur?
0.
Like there's 3. Right. Well, correct. So there's 0. Let me just make sure that's correct. But yeah, so you're not going to get a Jurassic Park type kill count.
No.
Not even a Carnosaur type kill count. Nope. There's like the human to dinosaur interaction is evade, dodge, attack back.
And I think that's the whole purpose and the premise, because you're not going to get that high kill count because technically there's only 2 humans around all these dinosaurs, and it was by chance. It's not that they already inhabit that planet.
Right.
So it's not like Jurassic Park where, all these people are at a theme park. This is 65 million years ago, and it's like these dinosaurs are like, look, a bipedal morsel to me.
Right.
They don't care. So.
But yeah, and I can say like.
Knowing how movies are and studios and things, could there be a sequel?
Yeah.
I can see it going something like this. They get picked up by the rescue people, and then they be like, we got to recover the bodies, and they send people. I don't know what they would recover.
And here's the thing. A sequel doesn't have to be on Earth.
It does not. It does not.
Or a sequel could be they took that information back to that civilization who's better than us, and then they decide, hey, one of these days they come back to Earth, not to recover the bodies, but they come back because they were initially on a mission to find other places to like terraform and live.
Right.
Pretty much. So they come back to Earth and see us humans. And maybe we could see.
He did say it was an exploratory mission.
Yeah.
So
he
could probably go to another different planet. So
we love you, Mr. Raymond.
Yes, and this was produced and funded by Mr. Sam Raimi. So
love you. He could make it dark if he wanted to.
He could.
It could be the battle of the other. I forget the name of their planet, Mortor.
And I'll say this: they never said the name of their planet.
They did. It came up on the title. It said Planet Mortor.
That was right.
Yeah.
It was said Planet Ceramus or something like that. But anyway,
I would be interested in a backstory of where they came from.
Why their mountains curved like fingernails?
No, they're humanoid. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if they're not human, they're humanoid. Where they come from?
Right.
Did their DNA stay here? I asked you that. Did their DNA stay here? It's buried somewhere?
They did leave them bodies there.
They did.
So
that's what I'm saying. Like, So I think it could be a sequel
Right.
if they wanted to go into some more
They could probably
backstory.
go full sci-fi craziness and just be like those bodies became something else in after being nibbled by the creatures that did survive. So
True. Or it could be, hey, you know what? This was in a permafrost because of where that was. There was permafrost that stayed frozen. Then it warmed up again, and that DNA is in the land.
there you go.
Look, we can make a movie, honey.
Cycle of life. And like Mufasa said, antelope eat the grass. When they die, our bodies go back to the grass. It's like,
Yep. So we're eating ourselves. Yep.
there you go.
So it's
But anyway,
possible.
it's
You know how
possible.
creative they want to get. Any other questions, Scootavius with the Argyle sweater?
Uh, how many dinosaur eggs out of 10 do y'all give it?
I'm gonna give it a 7
I give it a good 7.5.
because I feel like I should have been able to recognize more of those dinosaurs, and I was like, what is that? Like, I need
Right.
them to tell me what that is.
Right. Like we recognized the majority of them. It was just the ones when he fell out the tree. We was struggling.
Yeah, I pulled up my phone and I'm like Googling it, like, what is that? And the other T-Rex type dinosaur.
That other big one, yeah, besides the Rexes.
Yeah.
Yeah, like whatever those were, because these looked more. You could argue that the most recognizable dinosaurs in the world would be the versions that Jurassic Park created.
Mhm.
You could make that argument because everything else, every other T-Rex you've seen post 1993 Jurassic Park had some kind of jaggedness to its skull. The teeth are all outside like it's a shark. They're like the dinosaurs just look much more angry
Yeah.
and edgy than the Jurassic Park dinos.
Yeah.
It's like so.
They were very well done.
They
The
were,
studio did a great job on them. It's just, like, oh, and the one in the cave.
yeah, that one in the cave.
But it was really hard to see it because it was dark in there.
Right.
So it could be one that we recognize, but I would like to have been able to recognize a few more. But other than that, I think a 7 is good.
Right.
Waiting for the voice.
The disembodied voice of Jesus.
I mean, well,
Anyway,
sounds like
so
it's an interesting movie.
yeah, it's a good, like, you at home and it's a cool day outside. You got the door open and, hey, what's this on? Let me put this on and watch it.
Right.
Good adventure.
Good Saturday afternoon type movie. You sitting at home, you got your Ruffles, your rotisserie chicken, and your glass of lemonade. You put it on, you enjoy yourself. But
Don't ask too many questions.
What kind of meal is that?
Anyway, that is gonna be it for our Car Chronicles review of 65. If you like dinosaurs, go see it. It's a fun little movie.
It is.
Adam Driver does very well in it. So did the other three actors who are in this movie. Uh, and so did the mannequins who floated in the water.
Oh.
And so, yeah, it's a fun little movie.
Yeah.
And go see it if you like dinosaurs.
Yes.
It was cool. We enjoyed it. And so, yeah, we're gonna up next is our Scream 6. So we got thoughts on that one.
Yeah.
So we'll see you then. Y'all be good, everybody.
Deuces.
Peace. You gotta hold this pose like a prehistoric photographer. They gotta sit here for an hour. Same pose. Don't you gotta hold it. Hold it 2 days later. And all that black powder explodes on in that giant cone. Just let it go.
Who doesn't care about us?
Who does that here? You press the button, please. Somebody press that button.
I just want to see how long y'all was gonna hold it.
Press the button.